Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Bommer number 15016-625 occupancy indicator with emergency keyhole and a polished chrome finish. This is what the occupancy indicator looks like from Bommer. This is going to be comprised of the outer trim and the occupancy indicator itself. You can obviously get the intention of how that's to work. I don't know that I have anything to... Okay, let's try that again. We can somewhat demonstrate that reasonably well, how that would work. Okay, and obviously that's going to be controlled from the latch that's on the interior of the door. And a latch that would be very common for this might be a 15019, would be a very typical latch. And there is, of course, the 15019H version that would give you the handicap type turn on the inside. There is an emergency key that's available for this as well, which is a 15017, and there are links below this video to those items. And this is just the occupancy indicator. The 625 means two things. It means that it's made of it means that it's made of solid brass with a polished chrome finish. You can certainly order this in the different architectural finishes, your brass, your bronze, your chromes, nickels, satin, polished, oil-rubbed bronze. Being Bommer in their ability to plate anything, they can basically plate anything in any color. So if you have need for a specific color, let's say antique nickel, that's not going to be listed available, or polished nickel, they will entertain a request for that material. And it's very likely that you'll have need for a custom finish because you're not going to see lavatory hardware like this in a public restroom in a fast food restaurant. You're going to see lavatory hardware like this in high-end five-star hotels, law libraries. These are places where this material literally gets installed into because it's incredibly high quality, and because of the quality of the base material being brass, you can do exquisite finishes on the material. There is a link below this video to the installation instructions, and before I get to that, you can see the 3 holes in the flange, and you'll get 3 screws in a complementary finish, and according to my magnet, that's not ferrous, so we're going to assume or conclude that that's brass, so be very cautious when putting those screws in. You're going to want to have a proper pre-drilled hole and a proper fitting screwdriver. Now the link to the installation instructions will basically gives you some dimensional properties, which I'd like to give you now as well, just to determine that it's accurate. The installation instructions do not provide that, but the template does. There's a link below this video to the template as well, and they will tell us that this is 2 13/16 overall diameter, and that appears to be accurate. They don't give an overall thickness, but let's just gauge that on the camera. About 1/4 inch. Okay. Gives you the location of the screw holes as well, and those dimensions. The installation instructions simply give you an overview of what it's supposed to look like. The important concept on installing this is that the length of the spindle is an exact dimension because, and it's called out as door thickness plus 0.045, I think. Not that it would matter if it was 0.48. Because you want to be able to, if you have the emergency key, fit that into the front of the unit. You don't want the spindle from the lock body sticking out so far that you cannot enter, should you need to, in an emergency. Okay, now the balance of the installation instructions give you installation instructions for the 15019, and in figure 1 gives you dimensional properties on where the through bolt hole is located according to the lock on the inside, or where it ought to be located, which would give you a dimension that says verify the existing, is what it's basically saying. They do not tell you a dimension of where to drill the hole for the occupancy indicator to be installed on, because they don't know what backset you've used for the lock body. So it says dimension to suit bumper and or keeper. So you're going to need to measure, transpose. You can see that you've got 1 point. In figure 1, you've got 1.571, I believe it's 571, whatever 42.44 millimeter is. From the edge of the lock body to the center of the hole, you're going to want to transpose that dimension accurately so that you can drill the hole through the door to run that spindle through. Already have cut it to length, but when you would have ordered the 15019, you would have indicated the door thickness so that the length of the spindle is correct. Drill that through. You're going to mark, pre-drill your holes, and your installation should be complete at that point. Now the link below this video to the document called template is somewhat generic in that it shows, the occupancy indicator in addition to the bolt that would be on the inside. Okay. Bommer makes a comprehensive offering of high-end lavatory hardware that you will see in those applications mentioned earlier. We do occasionally sell these for residential applications as well, but generally it would be a high-end home that actually has a pool building in the back. So if you've got multiple people using facilities in a residential application like that, it wouldn't be unheard of to have this material installed. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Bommer products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. And I would recommend that you pull that catalog up so that you can, let's say, perform a find function on your keyboard and type in 15016. Get to that section of the full line catalog that shows you all of the lavatory hardware, so that you can piece together all pieces that will not only complete the installation of hardware required for a partition, but also give it to you in such a way where everything matches. Now, 625 is polished chrome. That's going to be polished chrome by anyone, but it would be awful advantageous, I think, to have the entire door done from a single manufacturer with a single process for finishing. Any questions on the 15016-625 occupancy indicator or any other Bommer product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.